So this time I got the iPhone 12. I'm going to start out at, I don't know how many percent. Let's see if we can figure out. 79%. I think we're going to get a little bit more than that before we get out of here. 91%. We'll start the morning out with some French vanilla cappuccino. Fire up the old coffee maker here. There it is, 8 ounces of fresh, hot, Walmart-styled French vanilla cappuccino. We're going to go ahead and get our day started. We're going to be shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second. Shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second. But for this video, 4K 30. The car's a little dirty, particularly from the last snowstorm that we had. So let's go ahead and get it washed. Car wash time. Seems like a long way to the end of the tunnel still, but we're getting there. Oh, that's my cue. Not bad. We're not going to Santa Fe, by the way. So now that we got the car washed, we're going to shoot some hoop. We're going to get some exercise in. So this is usually a part of my daily routine. Let's take a look at the car. Nice and clean and glistening and shining. I'd show the other side, but the other side's kind of dented up. So I'll show you the good side. Anyhow, I do some shooting of baskets. I do some dribbling. I practice my layups. What are we talking about? Practice, man. We're talking about practice. Anyway, if you guys know what I'm talking about there, leave it in the comments. Ball handling drills, push-ups of various types, stretching and lots of stretching. Running on occasion or jogging, forward or backward, tree hugging. Really, I'm getting some isometrics in there, but that's the exercise routine. And now let's see where we're at after shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second. We are now at 46%. Sandia Mountains. Here's a wide angle view. And go back to one time. Zoom in all the way and see what we get. 3 times zoom, that's as far as we're going. I'll take this opportunity now to tell you how well Face ID works on the iPhone 12, and I can assure you that it works very well. So, various angles, in the dark, in the light, it just works. Of course, in the age of wearing the mask, it becomes a little bit inconvenient. This is where I'm kind of wishing that there was some sort of Touch ID, but it is what it is. Take it back to one time and just get an idea what the stabilization is like. We're at almost 3 times once again. Pan around. Got a beautiful Albuquerque afternoon. And let's go back to one time, see how smooth that is. Not bad, huh? In this direction. That's at 4K at 30 frames per second. By the way. And there's tree and more tree. In springtime, it'll be a beautiful green, whatever tree. Maybe you guys know what type of tree that is. Zooming out in the wide angle. One time. back up to 3 times. Sure, now you stop. So in direct sunlight, the screen is legible. The camera's not doing this justice. It's actually brighter than what you see here. So under these conditions, you're not going to have a problem with being able to see what's going on with your screen. Let's go ahead and hit back inside. It's a little after noon, so in roughly 5 hours time, we are down to 32%. 4K at 30 frames per second. For getting the quality that you do out of the iPhone 12 with the video, it's going to come at a significant battery life cost. So just something that I want you to be aware of, and you're taking a look at my screen on time. So yeah, I would suspect that you would have similar effect if you do a whole lot of gaming. It will drain this battery down pretty quickly. But under moderate use, you can expect to get through a full day just fine. iOS 14 works very smoothly on the iPhone 12. You've got 4 gigabytes of RAM. You've got the A14 Bionic or Supersonic chip, whatever Apple's calling it exactly. And just know that even though you're at 60 hertz refresh rate with the screen, I don't know if as you swipe back and forth, it may be faster. But overall, a 60 hertz screen, you're still getting a smooth and fluid experience, just like what you would expect from an Apple premium phone. Which I guess all the phones are pretty much premium, except for maybe the iPhone SE, but even then there's still a hint of premium to it. We're at 19%, so between 12, roughly noon, and 6 o'clock, we went from 32% to 19%. Granted, my own usage on the iPhone 12 dropped off significantly. I think we went from the heavy usage that we had using the 4K 30 to pretty much no usage, just very light usage with YouTube videos, web browsing. This phone is 5G capable for myself where I live in Albuquerque. It's not relevant because on AT&T I don't have 5G just yet. But for anybody else that is fortunate enough to take advantage of that, you can. If you've got wireless charging, you can do so fast wireless up to 15 watts. And if you have a plug, because keep in mind, it doesn't come with 20-watt fast charging. That's what it's capable of. So you're going to see from around 6 o'clock at 19%, in about an hour's time, we get up to 80%. Well, let's start to sum this up. I'm going to show you some nighttime shots, and of course the iPhone 12 is very capable here with the nighttime shots. You're getting a great little compact all-around performer. I think this phone is available in 64 gigabytes. I would not get that at all unless you shoot absolutely no video and you take no pictures with this phone, which I'm sure that if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting the iPhone 12, or if you have an iPhone 12, you're probably going to be getting it in part because of the camera's capabilities. Also comes in 128 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes. You have 4K at 24 frames per second, so I didn't shoot that in this video earlier, but I'm just showing you some examples of this. So kind of a cinematic feel. If you're a big time vlogger, or you're trying to do like a little independent movie just using your iPhone 12, well, hey, you got the 4K at 24 frames per second. It kind of gives you that feeling a little bit. This phone is a little bit smaller than the iPhone 11 and the iPhone XR, so, and the frame is also more squarish than it is rounded on the edges. So it is easier to hold in the hand, even though I would say you're definitely going to want to get a case because it's still slippery. OLED screen on the iPhone 12, so you do not have to go into the Pro version in order to be able to get OLED. And you've got great colors here. It's not super saturated like what you would see on Samsung, but still colors that are pleasing to the eye and a bump up from the old LCD screens that Apple offered. Let's go ahead and conclude. Thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video log of the iPhone 12.